Set all the red twos in the game. Have you ever set all the red twos but got all the wrong results? Today, my guest is going to talk about unconscious communication. Hi guys, this is Mac here and you're watching Mac Vlogs. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My guest for today's evening is Muneer Al Busaidi, all the way from UAE. Welcome, Mr. Muneer. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on this show. Very excited to be here.
Same here. Before I begin, let me just quote what Mr. Muneer has to say on this. That is, Have you ever said all the right things but got all the wrong results? So today, my guest, Mr. Munir, is going to be talking about unconscious communication with you all. So let us introduce Mr. Munir. The platform is all yours. Go for it.
Thank, thank you. I just before I think before we start, you wanted to we'll just play your intro real quick and get going.
Wow. That's it, guys. That's Mac Vlogs for you. That's my channel name.
All right, cool. So first of all, hi everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited
Change
to.
the screen. You can change the screen if you can, you know?
How do you?
Yeah, that's the way.
Oh,
Let's go. Go for it.
all
Go for
right,
it.
all right. Let's do this. Okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
hi everyone. My name is Muneer. I'm very excited to be a guest on this show. And today we're going to be chatting about unconscious communication secrets, something that I'm very, very passionate about. And ultimately, it's how you can use that so that you can confidently connect with people, like people that you just meet, converse with them, have great conversations, communicate if you wanted to speak to large audiences, or convert. And that's using all the power of your mind and the power of unconscious communication. So yeah, so I'm very excited to be here.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, how did you get involved in this public speaking and the different topics you speak about, which I have seen and I've gone through your YouTube channel where you conduct sessions on the public speaking and the motivational talks way back in London. You're from London? Are you from UK?
No, no, I'm from Oman, but like I've lived in the UK for a long time, and yeah, so all over the place.
When
Yeah,
you have a British accent. That's what I was
yeah,
wondering. If you're in Oman, but I never saw any Omani guy. I have lots of Omani friends back home in Oman where I've grew up all my life. So I always find them very easygoing. But mashallah, Mr. Munir is just like a UK, like a British guy, you know. That's
yeah. Thanks.
okay.
Yeah. Um,
So
yeah. Go
what
ahead.
motivated, yeah, what motivated you to start all this, which I'm really surprised actually.
So I suppose, like, how did I get into unconscious communication and even public speaking? I suppose to a large degree.
Hmm.
And so if you had been with me, I'd say about 16 years ago, I just moved to Bahrain from the UK. And when I was like when I moved to Bahrain, I was working at Gulf Air. So I was at the Gulf Air headquarters in Bahrain. I was a management trainee, and
Mhm.
on one of the days, this the our trainer came in, and he came to everyone and he said, "Okay, guys, listen. You've worked for 2 years in all the different departments of the company, and now you have the opportunity. The CEO has is giving you an opportunity for you to ask for what area of the business that you want to work in." So
Really?
yeah. So he was like, because I've been a management trainee, right? So as a management trainee, you work in all the different departments of the airline, and
Lucky guy.
then they place you somewhere. So I was like, oh my god, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity. Now at that time, you can imagine, I just finished university. I'm still young,
You're still
and
young. You're
I'm
still
still
young.
young. I'm still young. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
still young.
I was almost as good looking back then as I am now, but that's
Inshallah, inshallah. Yeah.
so. So I was like, and Gulf Air at that time had just started doing the Formula One. Like Formula One had just come to the region. It just started in Bahrain. It hadn't even been in the UAE yet. And they were throwing a lot of events. So I was like, I really want to go to events because like I would have been paid to travel all around the world and throw big parties with big celebrities. I was like, this is the dream. This is the dream. So I was like, I got so excited that I
Okay.
was going to have this opportunity to do a presentation. So what happened is, for 2 weeks, I was like, okay, this is my chance. And are you competitive, Mac? Are you a competitive person?
Yes, I am. I accept all challenges. I accept all challenges.
So I'm like I was competitive, so I'm like, okay, you know what, I really want to get my choice of career. So I wanted to
Good.
do better than all the other trainees. So I contacted like my friends in marketing and I said, guys, help me, I need to make the best presentation ever. So they helped me design the best slides. I came out and I wrote the best script, right? Like, that's designed to impress and everything. And then we didn't just come up with the slides. I made the slides into brochures. And then the day came, right? So
Okay.
I walk into the boardroom
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sitting there like, so much is relying on today. And they call my name. They go, Munir, come up. So I
Okay.
go and I give out my brochures. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone's like, oh, this is very impressive, very cool. Yeah. And then I go and I stand at the front and my stomach starts to churn. My voice goes dry. My
Okay.
palms are sweating. And I had a paper. Back then I used to every time I spoke, I would speak from notes. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, um, uh,
You
hello
forgot.
everyone. Um, it's very nice to have you guys here. And basically what happened is you could see the CEO and all his vice presidents, they were smiling at the beginning and then they just went,
Okay. Okay. That's it.
and so the reason I tell you the story is like how I became interested in public speaking and communication is because that day, or even unconscious communication, is because that day I actually read everything that was on my paper. So I
Okay.
said all the right things, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I blew a once in a lifetime opportunity to ask. Like, I didn't get what I wanted because they didn't even hear what I wanted. No one paid attention. I was such a bad presenter.
Okay.
I created so little impact. I made um no impact on anyone. So like literally that day I just blew it. So
Yeah.
and so that's how I got very into unconscious communication, because I was like, you know what, never again am I going to let an opportunity like this come along, where this was a once in a lifetime opportunity to change the career for the rest of my life. And because of that one mess up, I was like, boom.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the course of my life. So
Yeah.
what
It
is
happened.
unconscious communication? It's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. Because
True.
that day I said all the right things, but I communicated all the wrong things. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
That makes sense, and it's an experience, and it's a part of your journey or a learning experience, I would say, that you went through, which made you but much more aware that what you
Yeah.
should not be doing next time when you're prepared. But you know how to communicate, basically, because that was one of your experience of life.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first question I would like to put across to you regarding unconscious communication would be: what are the ways that you find to explain your point of view during the public speaking or at any event when you're given as a
Yeah.
platform as a speaker to talk about unconscious communication secrets? So, what would that be, and what are those ways people can adapt?
Okay. So there's a model called the Mehrabian model, which is it says that 7% of communication is the words that you say.
Okay.
Then 38% is your tonality, and the rest is your body language. Now, a bit more than that, you see, there's the words that you say, but there's also the psychology behind the words that you say. That's I think what's missing. So
Mhm.
when I talk about unconscious communication, because like I ultimately I'm a hypnotist as well, right?
Mhm.
And I understand that how to use language in the way that the mind works. So there's, first of all, there's that part. So there's unconscious communication based on the language that I say. And I'll give you a quick couple of examples of this, right?
Mhm.
Um, Let me give you a presupposition, right? the
Okay.
psychology behind it is something called a presupposition. So when I talk about using language and the words and unconsciously communicating,
Mhm.
again, it's not about the words I say. It's a little bit about what I don't say, about what's implied by what I'm saying. So, for example, if I said to you, you know what, Mac, one of the things that I really like about you is how you are. Yeah, I like your facial reaction. You're already smiling. It's already working, by the way. You can see that. Um,
And I was thinking what you're about to say about me. That's why.
is how dedicated you are to your growth. And I say that because I've seen you literally from when you started your YouTube channel to growing the persistence to inviting loads of different guests, and I see your growth. Okay.
Mashallah. Mashallah.
So now, how does that make you feel? It makes you feel good, right?
It feels me
It
so happy from inside. I feel that I have just gone to the sky for
now
that. Alhamdulillah.
Now, first of all, this is what I call a very effective compliment. It's a very true compliment. It's and I truly truly mean it. But I
I
also
appreciate
want to break it down as because you can use this to be very effective with people. And this is when I talk about the words that you say. One of the things I said is one of the things that I really like about you. What am I not saying by that sentence? Is that I like a lot of things about you. You see, one of the things that I like about you is one of the many things that I like about you. So automatically, you feel better than if I just said it's really good that you're doing a
I'm
YouTube channel.
looking for more. I'm looking for more. Who doesn't like appreciation? That's for sure.
Yeah, but
It
you see,
boosts
and completely. And when I talk about influence and persuasion, as well as how you can speak to anyone, anytime, anywhere, and have people love you for it, like this is one of the key strategies. And using that language. So one of the things I really like about you is, and then you say something, and I say that because, and which because people like justification. Like if you've ever been around kids, they're like, why? And I because people like the word because they like to make connections. So when I give you a compliment and I give you a connection as to why I'm giving you that compliment, it sits very well. So where
true.
so the first part again is the psychology behind it, and I hope I've given a little bit of an example over there by how you use language to imply different things. So it's not about what I said, it's about what I didn't say. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so the first
Yes,
part is
very much,
language
very much.
and
You're on the right
psychology.
track.
Now the second part is tonality. Now this is very very cool. Now if I said to you, Mac, I really like you, right? Does that sentence make sense to you? Do you 100% know what I mean? If you read it in an email,
Yeah,
would you
true.
know what I meant?
I know where.
Okay. Now check this out, right? Watch how I can change this four words. Four words. I could change the meaning completely. You read it in an email
Words.
and you're like, I know what that means. But if I speak to you and I say,
Mhm.
Mac, I really like you. What am I saying? I'm saying I like you, nobody else does. You know what I mean? But if I emphasize I really like you, يعني I like you a lot. You know what I mean? But
All
then
about
if
the
I
words you use.
yeah,
It's
it's
about
you
the
see,
words which you
I'm
use.
emphasizing different things. I'm emphasizing different words. I really like
Mhm.
you. You're okay. I hate
Okay.
everyone else. You see, when the communication changes so much.
Yeah,
and
you
and
like me, right? That's my.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's the body language part. And yeah, the communication changes so much just by what you emphasize. So that's the tonality, and it's hugely important. um as a hypnotist, this is like the secret weapon that I have. Actually, you want to try something with me?
Okay.
Just be like a frustrated employee, like calling a call center, and you're trying to you've called them 5 times, and I'm just going to show you how tonality can actually reduce the stress in a situation. So just call me, pretend you're calling me, and be frustrated. Can you do that?
Cring, cring,
Hello.
cring.
Hello.
Hello. Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Munir.
Yes. Hi. Hi. How can I help
We
you?
have an order. Did you order a pizza?
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is imagine you're calling your phone company, and when you're calling your phone company and you're really frustrated, like you're an angry customer, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
let's try that.
Oh, you want me to be angry?
Yeah. Just a bit
Okay.
frustrated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Hi. How can I help you, sir?
This is not the.
Hello.
Hi. Who's this on the line?
Hi. My
May I
name
know
is
your
Munir.
name
How
first?
how can I help you, sir?
Am I speaking to Mr. Munir?
That's correct. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I'm really, I'm really angry actually because I didn't expect this service from you guys. Really,
I,
really, it's really
I'm
frustrating.
I'm very sorry to hear. I can understand that you're really frustrated, and I'm gonna do my best to do what's right for you. How can I help you?
I need the solution. I need the solution. I have
Of
been
course,
going through this
and
process
I'm
for last week, 2 weeks. Really frustrating.
of course, and I understand that you're very frustrated, and I'm going to try and help you. But I want you to notice one thing. When you called, your level was a little bit higher, and then you're
Okay.
it's very difficult to keep that momentum of anger when
Mm-hmm.
someone's just very calm. And this is what I call the FM radio DJ voice. And you just sort of speak
That's
to
the
someone,
calm
and
the nerves of the customer, right?
exactly. It
It's
calms
calming.
the nerves of the other person. It just lets the other person, like, if I got more frustrated, you'd get more frustrated. I learned this actually from
Habitual work.
yeah, I learned this from a lead FBI negotiator who goes into, like, a name by the name of Chris Voss. He goes into, like, literally negotiated with Al Qaeda, bank robbers that are holding hostages, and these people call and they're like, "Hey, I want a barra," and he'll just be like, "Of course," and I get it. You're going through some this, and you just see people's voices. They can't maintain this anger when the other person is so calm. And so, if
Um,
you ever had to deal with someone that's very difficult, using your calm voice, and you just go, "Yes, of course, I understand that you're upset, and I'm gonna try and help you if you just let me know what the issue is." You can't, it's so difficult to keep up that momentum. Does this make sense? So that's
yes, very
another.
much. You realize that you're getting that guilty conscious in your mind, that the other person was so nice to me. Why am I shouting and why am I yelling at him when I can also talk in a very calm manner, right?
Exactly.
That's
and
the whole idea.
and this is all about unconscious communication. So, when what happens is, so many people, when you get, like, if someone shouts, they get defensive and they shout back, and that just escalates the whole situation. So with this, it allows you to um, use unconscious
Calm
communication so
down,
that you get more done,
calm down.
so that you
Yes,
can
to calm
calm the
down.
situation down. The analogy that I like to say is, our minds are trained to
Hmm.
react and to feel based on the tonality. And you think of the movie Jaws. Before how do you know you're supposed to be scared? It goes dun. Nobody's saying, "Oh, be scared." The music, the tone tells you to be scared. If the tone went and there's a shark coming, you're just, no one's going to be scared, right? The
Yeah.
tonality unconsciously communicates to the other person how should you feel. and
Hmm.
and this is very, very effective, especially when it comes to persuading people, because then you can be like, you know what,
Hmm.
um, you want to portray conviction. You could be like, you want to tell the person to feel certain, right? Everything's going
Right.
to be okay. Listen, everything's going to be okay. Not everything's going to be okay. That doesn't make people feel okay, right? So if
Mm.
it depends what you're trying to portray, but this is very, very powerful if you're communicating and you want to get something across. This is going to get you results. And then finally, it's the body language. But yeah, go ahead.
The word unconscious,
Yeah.
right, which I find really important in our topic today.
Yes.
And the question I'm putting across to you about this word unconscious, why did you focus on this particular topic, right? And
Yeah.
what motivated you basically? Because this is really, really going down deep, right?
Yeah.
It's about
So
mental aspects about
of
it.
course, of course.
So,
Uh, it's a very good question. I mean, I'm ultimately look. I'm a hypnotist and I'm an NLP trainer. So I've studied the power of the mind, and I've also studied presentation. I've studied sales. I've studied all these things, and I see what people are doing wrong. I mean, ultimately, so many people are focusing on the wrong things. Like
mhm,
they focus too much on the words. They focus too much on what they're consciously supposed to say. But
mhm,
have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule?
yeah,
Yeah. So basically 80% of the results will come from 20% of your efforts. And that's what I believe unconscious communication is, because your mind, your unconscious mind is 90% of your brain. Like
okay,
whereas like for example, when you drive right now, right? You don't
mhm,
It's an unconscious process. You do it automatically. So many things when I'm talking, like I don't say to myself, hand move up, hand come down.
mhm,
You're not saying in your mind, nod head. It's all unconscious processes. Your
true,
unconscious mind is 90% of your brain power. So if you can tap into 90% of that communication, you're going to get
mhm,
way better results faster than before. And so
okay,
I look, I don't want to be another sales trainer. I don't want to be another um not just a sales trainer, public speaking coach or whatever. I know that the way that people are going to get much better results faster than ever before is tapping
mhm,
into the unconscious mind. So and
okay,
that and I call it unconscious communication, but there's so many aspects to it. Number one is our confidence. I wasn't a confidence person. I trained my mind. I literally went in and programmed my mind, my unconscious mind, to become confident. I When I connect with people, I train my unconscious mind to be able to, well, I know how to make an impact within the first 4 seconds using unconscious communication before I even say anything. So people already feel like they like me before they even say anything, before I say anything. And I've learned that these are all learned skills. Say
you
that
can
again.
read face.
Yeah, it's
Can you
all,
read
yeah.
the face? What?
Yes, and you can, yeah, and exactly, and then it's reading people as well, and yeah, 100%, 100%. Like we we can see. It's not a question of can I add unconscious communication, right? You're already
Mm,
unconsciously communicating. Is the reality. Just do it with purpose, right? And that's where the
okay.
secret is. If you do it like intentionally, then
Mhm,
you get much better results. That's what the key is. You're already communicating, right? Like when you're looking up and to the side, I know that you're thinking or remembering or something like that. So I can see a bunch of things. You're already doing it. How can you use unconscious communication to your advantage?
oh, absolutely. What was I thinking?
That
Let's
was
see whether
that
you can
was
make it out.
that
What
was
my
I
mind.
wonder what Munir would say this is. That's what was going through your head.
I agree. That was wonderful. Yeah, I agree to that. Basically, because I was waiting for a compliment, but then you would say that what I was
You're a
thinking
very
to
thoughtful
ask
and
a
wise
question to that.
person. Yeah. Um,
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You're
I
doing
got
a
I got a
wonderful
couple of
job,
people
man.
that are saying
That's amazing.
hi. Rima and Kishore are saying hi on Facebook. Just I'll give him a wave.
Hello, Rima. Hello, Kishore. I think you're connected to the right person. If you are following Mr. Munir on his Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, he is the right person to be contacted.
If I wasn't so brown, I'd be blushing now. I'm red.
I know I can see your cheeks a little bit red and like red roses, on your cheeks and stuff.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So,
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
yeah.
Eh,
So, yeah.
Munir,
That's basically it. Uh-huh.
that, that's amazing to have you today, and I'm being constantly in touch with you, and I know I've been disturbing you so much for so many
No,
days
I'm.
since
Yeah,
when this
I'm
COVID-19
honored to
started.
be here.
We got connected again to talk about how to motivate our people and stuff, and you made a small video as well to talk how we should be working on ourselves for social distancing and stuff. So I really admire you for a long time, and we have been meeting up in Oman long time ago. It's been almost 3, 4 years ago, I would say, or maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Back down the line, we have met in Oman in some event. I remember that. So it was really honor to meet you, and still I'm been in touch with you. That's my honor.
Thank you. I'm honored to be a guest on your show, and I'm truly, I'm truly loving the progress that you're making as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's to bring the whole community together. All the people around the world, whether in Canada, US, Dubai, Oman, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, wherever the good people are doing good job for humanity. People have different topics, different expertise, different experience of their life. That
Hmm.
is really amazing. And you need to do that, as you mentioned again. You connect the mind, I connect people, basically because I love doing this job of connecting people because that gives you a sense of freedom and the opportunity to express yourself and say, I know this person, so you should know him as well. So that's where the connecting part starts. And thank you so much for being my guest for today. I really appreciate your time and your efforts to talk about unconscious communication secrets, which was really wonderful. And I'm sure a lot of my followers, I'm sure your followers are really happy with you in connecting. I'm sure I want to connect you with all the people out there I know because you're doing a wonderful job and they really need you and they really need to be connected. Thank you so much. And just a
Thank
small
you.
shout out for Mac, if you can say that for me.
Yeah, okay. So big shout out to Mac Vlogs. Thank you guys very much for having me. I truly appreciate being on the show. And of course, if any of you want any more information about unconscious communication secrets, please subscribe to my channel on at youtube.com/Munir. Uh, Big shout out to you, Mac. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And I will
My honor.
catch you I'll hope to catch you and your audience on another video very very soon.
Sure. Tomorrow you will catch me every day, at least a session or two. Basically, everybody's coming up on board. So that's the beauty about doing live session. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Have a great day with your family. Look after themselves. Be safe and be healthy. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Masalama. Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum assalam.